So I wanted to say that Soulcycle has been a huge part of my life. I know it's expensive. It's like $30 minimum a class. I know super, super expensive, but to me, it's almost like therapy. So I kind of justify it. And I think the days when I do Soulcycle, I just feel like very, very different than the days that I don't. So if $30 can get me into a more positive mindset and attitude, then I think it's totally worth it. So I started it in 2013. And I've been kind of on and off. Like there are periods when I go like all in and I'll take a class like a few times a week, and then other times where I just like stop. And it's either that, it's like either all or nothing. It's very hard to like do Soulcycle like regularly, like without like being all in, because I think it's like super intense on you. So I have tried Soulcycle in so many different cities. I've tried Soulcycle in Austin, New York City, San Francisco, and LA. When I was in Vancouver, I was trying to like make it work. I really wanted to try some classes there, but I wasn't able to. So I wanted to share with you guys my favorite instructors and who you should go to, because the instructor makes all the difference. To me, if you're going to spend $30 in a class, you want to have like really, really good instructors. And also I'm very, very picky about where I sit on the bike. Okay. So I guess I am part of the Soulcycle cult, but I don't really have any friends who do Soulcycle. I just kind of do it by myself. I don't really care about the cult aspect. I just like want to have a good workout, right? I want to feel like that mind, body, spiritual connection. So I would say my favorite instructor, I've only taken her class a few times, is Angela Davis. She teaches in West Hollywood. It's like so hard to get into her classes. I think you can get into them by doing Soul Early, which is another $15, or being a Super Soul member. But I mean, her classes are super hard to get into. If I lived closer to West Hollywood, if it wasn't like a huge trek for me, I would go there, but I just can't. And she's like so spiritual. Like going to her class is literally going to church. And being an entrepreneur and like just having a lot of stress in my life, I feel like going to her classes just makes me feel like I can do anything, at least for that moment. So yeah, going to her classes is like going to church. So if you ever get a chance, if you can get into Angela's class, I don't know if it's harder to get into Coachella or to get into Angela's class, but it's definitely worth it. Definitely try it out. I also wish she would teach at night, because she only teaches in the morning. And it's like if she taught at night, I would make the trek out. But I'm not going to get up at, getting up at 4 a.m. was a little difficult for me. Okay, so I really like Angela. And then I also like David Zink. I've only taken his class a few times before. I would say in terms of difficulty, Angela is probably like an 8 out of 10. And so is David. Maybe Angela's a little bit hard. I can't exactly remember. I remember in David's class, I sat front row and I was able to complete all the movements. So I would say it's like difficult, but it's not like too difficult. And then in LA, I also take Jamie's class, Jamie A's class. She is amazing. I would say she is one of the harder instructors, or one of the hardest instructors in Los Angeles or the LA, Southern California area, because she makes you do so much choreography. She's not about resistance, and I don't like resistance on my bike. I like being able to go fast and keeping up with the choreography. It's kind of like dancing almost. And it's like so cool when you're in the front row and you're keeping up the choreography and you're moving with everybody else. Like it's such a crazy experience. And I could do another video about like where to sit at Soulcycle, but the front row experience it's very, very different than like anywhere else. Okay, so Jamie is really, really great. And I love Jamie's classes because she's always on the bike. Like there's a lot of class instructors that have somebody else on the podium. I don't know exactly the rules for that, but she's literally on the bike the entire time. I think she teaches like 3 classes a day. I don't know, like crazy. Like she's literally a beast. She's very like, how do I put it? Like drill sergeant. So if you like that kind of, if that personality motivates you, then take Jamie's class. I am definitely motivated by negative reinforcement a lot of times. Like I need to be told that I suck and like I need to be better and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but she is very, very hard, and I think she's kind of intimidating to be honest. So she's also one of my favorite. I also like Alexa, she teaches, I think, at Newport. Yeah, she teaches at Newport. Alexa's really good. She's a little bit more approachable. Her classes aren't as difficult as Jamie's, but she's also like pretty difficult, I would say, an 8 out of 10. And also Brian's classes, I've only taken his once. He teaches in Brentwood, so I'm not usually there, but his classes are really, really difficult. I don't remember if they're as difficult as Jamie's. I think they were even harder, but I love Brian. I would say, if he lived closer, if he taught closer, I would love Brian's classes. Okay, so he's really, really good. One thing, if you're in a city and you want to take a Soulcycle class, look and see which instructors are constantly waitlisted. That's how you kind of know if the instructor is good. I really don't like taking classes when the whole studio is empty. I love it when every single bike is packed and I'm like sitting near the front or in the front. It brings like such a different energy and vibe to everything. So yeah, if you're not sure who to take somebody whose classes are full. Get on the wait list, because then like there's a reason why they're on the why their classes are always full. And I would say definitely go by instructor. Don't go by the class. Like, go by the instructor, because the instructor makes all the difference. And then in New York City, I've taken a few. I really like Trammell. He would be one of my favorites. And thank you, Callie House, for talking about Trammell, because I follow her on YouTube. He doesn't ride on the bike. I don't actually remember ever seeing him ride on the bike. I've only taken his classes a few times, but his music and his vibe is so like, it's kind of like black culture kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, hey, it's like when you go, I don't know, like people are gonna be like, geez, you're gonna be racist. No, it's just so like chill, but it's hard, but it's not as hard. I would say his classes are maybe like 7 out of 10, but his music is like the bomb. So every time I go to New York, I try to book his classes. And then I've taken Atkin, I think his name's Atkin. His classes are just, they're so hard that sometimes it's like not necessarily like worth taking. I don't know. If you're a beginner, don't go to his classes, because also he doesn't let you try out the moves unless you're like a superstar at Soulcycle. Because I remember when I was in his classes, I was trying to do some of the choreography and he just was like, no, don't do it. And then you kind of get scared of trying out new moves and stuff. So I would say only take his classes if you can sit front row, like front middle at like Brian's classes maybe. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. And then who else have I taken in New York City? I think those are the only, instructors I've taken that I would recommend. I'm not going to say the ones that I don't recommend. But it's weird because the instructors, I feel like New York and LA have the hardest Soulcycle classes. I feel like everywhere else, like I took one in Austin and I was sitting front middle and like I was kind of bored like during the class. It was like push up, like that was the hardest move. Also in San Francisco, I felt like it wasn't as like hard. So I like classes that have really fast choreography, they have really fast movements, because it really, really pushes you. So I also have a referral code link down below. If you want to check out Soulcycle, I do get like for every, I don't know how many classes where I refer, I get a free class, so please use it so I can get more Soulcycle, because it's expensive. So if you're gonna do Soulcycle, take like the best instructors. Like that is my advice to you. And yeah, I feel like Soulcycle, it has really gotten me out of dark days. I consider it as a cheaper form of therapy. I mean, therapy these days are going for $200 an hour, so $30 is like, I love showering there. I mean, I love showering there. Oh, and then just a few tips for your first ride, or just for like Soulcycle in general. You need to wear sweat wicking clothes. You cannot wear a regular t-shirt. Wear a sports bra. Make sure your sports bra has a lot of compression, because you don't want the girls jiggling. I don't like to wear leggings during Soulcycle. I like to wear biker shorts. I don't care how it looks, because you're going to be sweating, drenched in sweat. You don't want anything to kind of constrict you. So Soulcycle is one of those classes you have to be very mindful and intentional of what you wear working out, because otherwise, like, the clothing can really drag you down. Also in Soulcycle, I'm very intentional about how I do my hair, because otherwise this hair is gonna literally like flop everywhere, because it's very, very intense, that workout. But anyways, I might do an actual real video on like everything about Soulcycle in my main YouTube channel. I don't know, but we'll see. Bye.